Coast boys are here. What's up, guys?
I love a good West Pacific Standard Time. I love a good PST or Pacific Daylight Time, if you will.
Oh, thank God. Thank you for that clarification, because the chat was going to be furious if we didn't get that right.
You've gone full afternoon marketplace. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
full
it for the
afternoon
West
marketplace. I want to clear some business out of the way, then we're going to say hi to everybody. So we had teased that we were going to do a show again tonight, and then I forgot. I'm booked, so I can't do it.
Busy man.
Yeah,
and successful comedian. Working comedian.
I'm going to a show. I'm a consumer tonight.
Oh, you're hanging out with JJ Redick. That's right. You're hanging out with JJ Redick. You could have positioned it that way, right?
Yeah. We're gonna talk about watches or something. I don't know. But instead, what's gonna happen tonight? Our very own right here, actually, Jeb Bush, along with our man Deep Threat, are going to be taking over the channel tonight, and will be streaming on their own. So we'll have more info on that soon. All of the other crap, right? Like the stream, subscribe, do all of that other junk that we ask you to do. Join the Discord, all that stuff. But we're excited today. We've got an interview today with a very fun group that's got an NFT project that's coming out soon, and we're very excited to talk about them. I'm going to drop some information in the chat as we go, so you can check out their website and follow along while we do this. We also, if you look at our show notes right now, it's already there. I don't even have to put it in the chat. If you just look at our show notes right now, you can already see the website, and then just join a Discord, because here's the thing. Legally, we're required to be in 3,000 Discords. That's just what life is now. Life is a lot of Discord. How many Discords are you in right now, Dustin?
I'd probably say 12 to 13. It's probably more. I'm not even counting it right.
Okay.
It might be like 15. Yeah.
And did you know what a Discord was, say, in January?
Never in my life. I mean, I think I had heard of it, but it was like a mythical land like Twitch, where I was like, Twitch is cool, but I'm not over there. I'm not cool enough to get into that.
Yeah, Greg sent you a TikTok about Discord, and then you were like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm in 15, and I feel severely behind in every single one of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of notifications.
But you know what? I've wrapped my head around it. It's okay. I hope no one's offended by this, but I think it's sort of like a newer version.
Before you offend people, let's go solo, just so we know who's offending us. Go ahead, Dustin.
Okay, so I think it's an evolution of Reddit. I think there's an evolution of Reddit, right? Like, it's all these sub communities where everybody can kind of chat and be involved in. And I think that's sort of where it's evolved. And now it's real time versions of that. If you're into something, there's a Discord for it. And the only place that used to exist was on Reddit. And so I think it's sort of taken the next step.
That was a nice little tagline. If you're into something, there's a Discord for it.
Yeah.
You got
a passion. You got a passion or fandom. There's a Discord for it.
Well, so here's the thing. Before we bring our guests on, we'll talk for another 72 minutes on Discord etiquette. No, we're very excited. We're very excited for our guests for Yondo Mondo. We're going to bring on Jason, Jay, and Kelsey. Thank you for joining us today. How are we doing?
Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Okay.
We're doing so good. I'm the loud one of the group, so if you ever need to just mute me, go right ahead, because I'm always very enthusiastic. I'm extra excited because I spent Saturday night with you guys. You don't know this, but I know this. And we hung out on Saturday night, and I fell in love with your interview styles, finding crypto dads. Well, you guys did such a good job. They were so cool to get to know, those two. And I just loved your questions, a little hardball, a little softball.
That's all credit to Mike. He's the only one with actual hosting experience on the show. So we rely heavily on his talents.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like we're lined up nicely then, based on energy and excitement and loudness. It makes sense that you and I are in that same box. I think that works out well. Well, I'm glad you saw the Crypto Dads interview, because that was a lot of fun for us. And one of the things that we really liked about that entire process, because honestly, that was the first time we had really done something outside of Top Shop. But the thing that we really enjoyed is we got to know the people behind it, right? It was less of receiving a DM invite to join a Discord because you're going to make $1 million, right? So it was, and to actually get to know what the process was, what was exciting about it for you all, and why everyone else should share the same excitement that you all have. So we're excited to do that for Yondo Mondo today. So tell us a little bit about where you're at, how this process has been for you.
I mean, this has been amazing, but we had one really interesting thing that happened that I feel like is noteworthy. that I'm going to share. So Stroll on the other side, one of my best friends, we met in the crypto space 4 years ago. And when you go through those kinds of highs and lows together, and like you get into ETH around $100 and then you see it go and you see it dip and you stay friends, you go through a lot of life together. And so I trust him more than I trust the average human. And he's also the biggest skeptic I know, like fights me on literally everything. And when I found CryptoKitties 4 years ago, he was like, "You're insane. This isn't going to go anywhere." Was the biggest naysayer. And it was always kind of this joke between us. So when he texted me this summer and he's like, "Kels, like, I'm gonna launch an NFT," I was like, "Is this?" I had to like double check my contacts because I was like, "No, not Stroll." So I was bought in because of him and how intense he is. And then he almost died. So maybe you want to just like take it over and tell us why you've been in the ICU for the last few weeks and how that was like when you decided to start a project.
Yeah, what a segue. But no, happy to delve in. I suppose it's definitely a unique part of our story. So as Kelsey alluded to, most of my professional career has been focused around being a pain in the ass. So tearing things apart as an analyst, a strategist. And so that was my foray into the crypto world. And we can get into that a little bit later if it's relevant. But yes, I am more tepid and open-minded in my private life, but certainly when it comes to things like this, what Kelsey alluded to is true. So yeah, we'll get into the project and how exciting it was and why we decided now is the time to enter the space and what is uniquely different about this. But to cut to the ICU thing, essentially you're building the startup, you're working your ass off, crazy hours for 3 months. We reached this culminating point where the artwork's coming together. We got the team, we got the devs, it's all happening. It's all hands on deck. And then, I had some GI issues for about a month that I was ignoring because of all this work. And I was having too much fun to pay attention to my body, I suppose. And the doctors aren't sure what happened, but essentially 2 extremely rare bacterial infections just kind of took over my body. And so one day I said, I'm not feeling that well. And then the next day I was in the emergency room. And then the day after that, I was intubated in the ICU. And I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And I've been home now for, I guess, about almost 2 weeks as well. So fucking terrifying experience. Have an immense amount of gratitude for the legion of medical professionals that saved my ass. It got worryingly close there for a couple of days. So it's just been a lot. But I mean, what a story. Every startup that I've ever been a part of is a huge struggle and a challenge. If it was easy, it wouldn't be believable or real. So I feel like it fits into this typical tapestry of the incredible struggles of trying to actually do anything real. But that is what Kelsey was talking about. I am on the mend and doing okay. I
just want to say too, very flattered 2 weeks out of the ICU that you're like, the thing I need to do is come on this stream.
I made him brush his hair, guys. His hair's been like, I'm like, Jay, could you brush your hair and could you change your shirt for us, please?
And sit up, like not talk from bed. So, pleasure, happy to be here. It feels really good to get back into some semblance of normalcy. But yes, definitely an unexpected roadblock. And while I have the stage before I get booted out of here, I'll just say that Jay and Kelsey have been unbelievable when you talk about a team. And so much of, I think, our story and what I believe makes us unique is the optics, is the visibility, is us publicly being what I believe to be an incredibly strong team and a driving force behind why I hope people see this as something that has the potential to be very successful. It's certainly what we believe. And, the proof is in the pudding. One of the founders basically knocked off the face of the earth into drug-addled unconsciousness for 2 weeks in a hospital. And Jay completely took over. Kelsey completely took over. And I woke up to a fully thriving, ever-growing, that much more advanced company that I had basically slept through. So a very bizarre experience. And if I didn't have these guys, we would have been totally screwed. So your people
what a
are
story.
everything.
Glad you're feeling better. Glad you're feeling better. And what a story. I mean, we're all very excited about the project. We should probably we should let Jay speak and then maybe also show some of the art, right? Because really, really cool. Also, this is our first time with 6 boxes on the square. It feels like the Red Zone channel, and it's going wild.
Look, I have an update. A couple of housekeeping things. First and foremost,
Ooh.
Wow.
I gotta bring that down a little bit. We'll do that in real time. And then second of all, a very important point from Jeb is Greg Struhl talking. So I'm just gonna do that swap. Oh no, we lost Jeb.
Was that you, Greg? Did you boot? Because Greg occasionally boots people. So.
I did not boot. No, I did not. But either way, when Jay comes back, I will be aligned to Jason, just as Mike is aligned to Kelsey.
It's great.
And then, Greg, do we have one more thing?
One more thing. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we love our emojis. So if you guys check the emojis, if you're a member of Team Hold VIP, you'll see some Yondo Mondo emojis.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so we put some, people can send emojis in the super chats sort of in YouTube, and they get access to emojis, and we just added that into the mix, courtesy of Greg. Very fun.
I love it, Greg. Frozen face Greg. I have that. I just collected that piece of artwork, and I'm gonna be hanging on my wall.
So
yeah, we got it. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
You
first.
Not apologize. You're good. I was gonna say. So tell us a little bit about the project. Like we have the artwork up here, but tell us a little bit about like where it came from and why we're jacked about it.
Yeah. So. I think like the most exciting thing about this project is we really don't intend for it to be an avatar PFP play. We really want to think about this as like, this just happens to be our Kickstarter round into something much bigger. So I think you'll notice the way we approach things, and I will give that credit to our co-founder who's not on screen. He's like really the fearless leader. If you were to look at like all of the 3 Yondos, he's like the big blue guy for sure who keeps us all going. And that's because he's been working in product for 15 years. This guy's built video games. He's done, iOS stuff. And then he built a consumer banking app that was, it was acquired by a very large company that everybody can go look up. I'm not allowed to say it, but he works for them right now. And and so he's very, very, very good at product. And then Stroll over here, despite being an incredible finance guy, has got a hell of an imagination. So these two, I think, just growing up as like nerdy space fans, they were like, what if there was a way to bring the world into creating the next universe, the next Star Wars, Pokemon, Harry Potter, a lore that people could get involved in, where we give you the start of it with 3 base characters and we start to tell you where they came from, but then you help us finish the story. Yeah. And there was this whole sort of like notion of like, what if we had this P2P ability to, build out the next Pixar, of course I said that. What if we had the P2P ability to do that and have other people involved in it instead of just a couple guys in a room? And that's the genesis, I think.
That's really cool. So it's like a community built narrative in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, we're still obviously, we're still see ourselves as a entertainment and multimedia company, and we're going to be iterating and creating these experiences and bringing it to life. But, when we looked at the NFT landscape, I mean, in transparency, the thing that really reeled me in was probably the success of the community that the apes have engendered. I said, this is really interesting. And now I see some utility behind this beyond just the collectability and people freaking out about the appreciative potential. There's actually something real happening here. And then, Jay and I, who have, been best friends for 20 some odd years now, it wasn't a new notion that we had this grand vision of creating a fictitious universe. As Kelsey alluded to, we were both pretty weird kids, myself especially, and just fictitious worlds were the thing that kind of got me through the rigors of childhood. And so story and how that affects the human experience, especially coming out of the last 1.5, 2 years that we've all been through, we thought, let's create something that's effusively positive, interactive, friendly, inclusive, that kind of has a mission and a provocation and an impetus that reflects some of the bigger issues our society is going through. And so these guys are exploring the universe to figure out their origins, to figure out how to save their planet, to see what life is all about. And I think, there's obviously a strong history of science fiction kind of allowing us to explore difficult confrontational issues in a way that is less bifurcating than the normal Discord that we have these days. And so that was a large piece behind it. And then getting back to the NFT side of things, we thought, well, how would Toy Story or Star Wars or anything else launch today, given this set of technologies? There's obviously the ability to have something of a fundraising round in a totally novel way. But in terms of what else and why is this more unique than an avatar project, there's that ability to engage and interact and continually sort of reward your most evangelical early adopters by including them in this experience in perpetuity and immutably. I mean, obviously the ownership records can change, but we're always going to have this core group of you're the first bucket. And so we want people to think, what if you owned a little piece of the IP of the next great entertainment franchise from the beginning? And that's kind of the way that we hope we're uniquely positioning this. That is emphatically what we plan to do. We have the team to do it, and we're insane enough that we believe we can make it happen. And Kels can tell you, this is probably the first time in my life I've fully drank the Kool-Aid for something I've been involved in. I just think it's too damn exciting not to try. And yeah, we found, the artwork we're super proud of, the story we're really happy with, and sorry, I can tend to be a little loquacious, but
talk about the artist, Jay.
What's
to
that?
Throw it over. So you're the creator. The two Jasons created it. It was really their genesis, and they had these little sketches and ideas of what they wanted. Obviously, Jay Jacobs, being a product guy, is like totally insane about the quality of everything, which is like my favorite part about him. And he spent hours and hours and days looking for the best artist to try and bring this idea to life. And Stroll and him just went through everybody they could, and they found this fellow named Yoshi, who is huge in Japan. As you can see, it's Japanese animation style. And Stroll, maybe you can tell us a little bit about discovering Yoshi, because that was pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, we went on an all-out quest. So we had very much a style and a sort of ethos that we wanted them to emote. And obviously in the crypto space, a lot of what has had traction, in the NFT world, has been this kind of grungy, maybe stereotypically crypto-ish in terms of rough around the edges, a little inappropriate, whatever, linguistically and all that, a little irreverent maybe is the word I was looking for. And we love all that. I'm totally into it. I have some of them. It's totally cool. But in keeping with our greater vision of where we wanted this to go and universal applicability, there was certainly okay, we want to create, I think everybody secretly likes cute. 45% of 30-year-old men sleep with a stuffed animal, which is a stat I just totally made up, but I feel like it's believable. So I don't think, we thought cute can be universally applicable when done right. We don't want it to be too cute. So how do we mix sci-fi and cute and keep and not damage the lore or make it too childlike that it loses appeal? So we went through a exhaustive process, looked through hundreds of artist portfolios and all the normal sites and places. And then the crazy thing is we narrowed it down to like 50, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And Jay and I made a point not to discuss it. And then we ranked them and we both put Yoshi as number one. So it was kind of this moment where we got to get Yoshi involved. And thank God, he has been incredible. And, he has statues in Japan and has made characters for gigantic international corporations. And he was excited about being involved in an NFT project in a way that made it tenable for us to use him. So the stars sort of aligned in a way that allowed us to get what I think is just a sensational artist. And as Kelsey was saying, Jay's style has been super helpful. Like, being such a product guy, he kind of knew how to guide in a way that I would have totally messed up. And so we were able to explain our vision and our world and kind of leave this open sandbox for this hyper talented guy to come up with these concepts and designs that we then went through several rounds with. But
yeah, I'd say you guys, sorry to interrupt, I'd say you guys have found a good balance of cute and cool. And I think that was sort of the fine line that you needed to walk here, is right. Like it's its own aesthetic, its own style. And I think you've nailed that in what I've seen. But beyond that, what you mentioned earlier was the storytelling. And to me, that's something that I'm not seeing in many projects. There's, roadmaps where, as Mike says, we're obligated to mention the word roadmap, legally obligated to say it, right? But something that you guys have touched upon, which is exciting to me, coming from my work that I do, the storytelling is really exciting. And I haven't heard many people, talk about that and how they're approaching this project and what they're trying to do. So I love that that's built into this. It's built into the project from the ground up that this is going to be a part of it. And also you can be a part of this storytelling, which I think is unique, that the users have a stake in it and have an opportunity to grow with this and help define what the story is of their characters or whomever, what they have. And I think that's really special. I think that's unique and something that I haven't seen.
Yeah, and Kevin right there, right? So what Dustin said, this feels like a project to join in and share the journey with his kiddo, which I think
I think cool. It's inclusive for all ages, right?
Yeah.
I think the art style is cool and unique. The storytelling is something different, but it's also something that you can involve with perhaps even a younger generation. And so it's something for a little bit of something for everyone is the way I'm seeing it.
Yeah, and I think my dog though, he's like, I gotta move. I think like what I really find exciting, or what I've enjoyed learning about different projects, are finding things that I really don't want to say the word utility. I really don't.
Legally obligated.
I think we're legally obligated. Yes.
I know, but like finding like what is the other exciting piece about like like how Top Shot stood out to me. I was like, oh, this is kind of like collecting basketball cards, which reminds me of like something that I was really into when I was a kid. I also really like basketball. It's like another way to embrace the fandom, right? And that is kind of something that I'm seeing with this from a different lane though, right? Where you're again, like if you are into the sci-fi, into the storytelling aspect of all of those things, it's just like another way to engage with the community you're probably already immersed with, which I think is that's exciting. And those are the things that stand out. And when doing research on all of the projects that we've talked with or have thought about talking with, like those are the things that stand out. So it's kind of cool to see that.
Yeah. Do you think we could pull up the website and start to scroll through and maybe let the team talk about what we're seeing and, you know, how all of the characters differentiate and what, and the reasons why, because I think that's really cool. And I'd love for like the community to learn more about that, myself included, because I think what they've done so far is really great.
And as you're doing that, I just have to apologize for my absence, but I decided too many comments like this, I just had to go full Jason. So I threw on the gray, the black undershirt, took off the glasses.
Got the
we're one and the same.
Earbuds.
We are.
It's great.
It's the start of a beautiful thing.
You look so much alike right now.
It's pretty funny.
I think you have a better beard than me, though. I hate to say it, but
it would.
No. This is just laziness on my end. I gotta clean it up a little bit. I think you got the better beard.
It would be pretty funny if I ended up seeing Jason this weekend at Greg's bachelor party instead of Greg. So
there's still time.
There's still time. All right, cool. Yeah. So we pulled up the website here. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat again too, in case people are like, "Hey, Mike, this isn't big enough. You are an idiot." So I'm gonna throw this in the chat and you can follow along. I don't know where should we start here? Where is there a specific?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to show, so I think part of what's really cool with a lot of generative projects, you know, there's one shape and then a lot of different assets. So one thing that made Jay Jacobs' job a lot harder from the get-go was there were 3 characters. So there are 3 shapes. So you can imagine when we're coming up with asset ideas, when there's a set of glasses, they don't fit on all characters. They have to be, you know, redone for each one. And then we've started to think, but we've always thought about this as a blue chip project. So while other projects will take, you know, like a lightsaber or something like that, we're always thinking about IP from other creators and how we don't do things like that. And we no bashing of anybody, but we're just very careful because, like I said, we are using this as a Kickstarter to start a much bigger corporation. You know, these guys, the Jasons, are incredible business people, which is why I came on board. And I own a marketing agency, so I have, you know, 20 clients that I work with full time, including the Grammys, who's very into NFTs. And I've taken an absence from my agency just to support these two because I believe in them so much. And you can see, I think, the quality of what they produced. I have no say in that. That's the 2 of them. They came up with these characters. They came up with all of these little pieces, but they needed somebody who could really help them take their vision and translate it to the community. And that's kind of where I come in. So if you ever saw our project in the beginning, it was very different because it almost had a little bit more of a corporate feel, and we've tried to speak a little bit more to the NFT community. And it's actually gone through a name change. So if you guys saw it several weeks ago, we were originally called the Ethereans, and poor Stroll goes into the ICU and wakes up and sees Yondo Mondo everywhere and has no idea what's happening. But a project launched called the Ethereans, and they launched quicker than we did. And so we had to pivot, and that's where this came. This new world came, and it's been so much better from a branding perspective because Yondo is just way more fun. And
I was going to say it's a blessing in disguise. I really I would have never thought that would have been the journey for this, but I think it's a happy accident, right? That it turned out this way.
Totally happy accident. And like you were saying with the kids earlier, my biggest audience for marketing feedback is my 3-year-old nephew, who literally, he was born during the hackathon where I met the Crypto Kitty guys. So I always call him my little Crypto Kitty, and he knows about NFTs. And when I showed him this and I said, Yondo Mondo, he starts going, Yondo. And I was like, okay, like we're on to something. So you can see each one of them, is going to be totally unique. There are a lot more combinations than we will actually be minting, of course. I think there were, like, the other day when we were running it, there were 13,000. But we'll only, of course, mint 10,000. And you can see that the artwork itself is 3D. So in the future, you'll be able to see your Yondo Mondo like completely full, full stop.
Yeah.
And it's Yondo. I don't know, yo Yondo. You look like you're gonna jump in. Just jump in. Stroll.
No, that's all great. The decision to go 3D was one that made our lives infinitely more difficult, both in the asset rendering and the design. But it gives us also the breadth to, first of all, you own this 3D file. You'll be able to actually download it, play around with it in Blender, 3D print it, do whatever you want. And then this is a little bit more, out there, but I don't love conjecture about what the metaverse is going to be in these platforms. And obviously, having third-party devs take characters and render them into a universe is extraordinarily difficult on a technical end, but just being open-minded towards that, and at least from a licensing perspective, from a utility perspective, having the ability to say, theoretically, at a point in time, these might be able to interact with other ecosystems. That was an important part of it.
I think that was super smart. And I know it definitely was a pain in the ass to just sort of get it to this point to make that decision. But I think it was big brain thinking long-term. And I think it has the potential to pay off down the line. I think that was a really smart decision.
It really makes it stand out. And then even like thinking AR forward too, like it's a no-brainer. That's really awesome. I actually have to jump. I'm so sorry, but Jason obviously can fill my shoes perfectly. So it was incredible meeting you guys. I'm super excited about this and look forward to talking and learning more about it.
Pleasure. Thanks, Jason.
So not only from the AR space, but if you talk from the physical space, like you're saying, you have the ability to, people can have 3D files. They can do what they want. If there's a connection to the digital to the physical, you have that there because you've already created that infrastructure with what you have here. So again, I think that was really smart, and I'm pumped about that. I love that.
Thank you. It was a difficult decision, and obviously from a time perspective, like this space moves so quickly, and there's so much pressure, and there's so many projects going, and you constantly have this feeling of any complexity that why didn't we just do a quick and dirty 2D thing if we're really just trying to raise money for an entertainment platform? But we wanted it to be as high quality as humanly possible from the get-go. That's just how we are, without making the mistake of spending 3 years building something no one asked for. And so you're constantly weighing expediency and get to market with something that we're proud of and sufficiency. I
think it also just stands out, to be quite honest, amongst other ones. When you see it, it just stands out. Oh, we got the Beagles.
The Beagle sighting.
Beagle cameo.
I will say, like, along those lines, Dustin, that's the thing that sticks out the most for me too, is there just feels a lot of uniqueness to it. Like from the artwork to like all of your pictures being on the website to you being on the stream, it feels like the way that it's been rolled out too has been has been calculated, right? That we're not trying to fire things out as fast as we can, and it just seems. Again, it seems like very well thought out and calculated.
I also think it's appreciated by the community, and specifically our community, when you can attach faces to the project and they can be transparent and talk about it. And I think that happened with the Crypto Dads, where they came on and they're very upfront and honest. and our community appreciated that. And the same thing is happening here. I feel like when we can talk directly to the people, if the chat has questions, things like that, they can see the passion and the care behind the project and talk directly with the people responsible for it. I think it goes a long way. So it's been really great.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it was central from the beginning, and quite frankly, I thought, one of the strongest things we could do to communicate how serious we are about the project, if we're trying to market something and say this is the beginning of a much larger entertainment empire that we're going to build out, this is the beginning of a animated universe that we want you guys to get excited about interacting with and being able to experience. If we put our faces behind it, we say, I'm a real person, I have a reputation that could be sullied, and I am willing to stand behind this. I think it's one of the strongest value props you can have in this space specifically, just because of how obfuscated most of the project. Again, not that it's a good, bad, or indifferent, but just in the way that we wanted to approach this. Yeah,
I know that goes a long way. I don't want to speak for other people. It goes a long way for me seeing that. I wanted to be what's the word? Conscious every time. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say in this moment. I wanted to be aware of your time. So what I wanted to do is if you all have any questions that you would like to fire out there before, listen, like one by one, we're just going to be losing people. It feels like this is going to end like 20 minutes. It'll just be me again. But if you have any questions that you wanted to throw out there, put that in the chat right now and I'll monitor that. And if anyone has a good one, I will share it. And I feel comfortable saying I won't share bad ones. I feel comfortable saying that.
You can share bad ones. Like we got pretty thick skin, Mikey.
Yeah.
Be surprised.
But while those come in, since they're on a little bit of a delay, is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you're like, okay, the one thing we got to get across today? But yeah, if there's anything that we haven't touched upon, I want to make sure you have an opportunity to get that out there.
A big part, if anybody does research on my background, I've been involved with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for the past 4 years. I was one of the only women in the world to launch a cryptocurrency back in 2017, which is how I met Stroll. He was a consultant I hired actually, and we became really good friends. But I got into working with the United Nations to help them specifically understand how this could help women and help people that couldn't access a lot of things, with different technology. And I spoke to them directly about NFTs because I found the guys who are now Dapper Labs. They were a bunch of hackers at the ETH Waterloo Hackathon, October 12th, 2017. It's been 4 years now. Wow. And I met Benny and the gang, who's now, heading up Top Shop. I met them there and I stayed up all night sitting with them minting crypto kitties because I was like, this is the future. This is how we show the world what smart contracts are, and non-fungible tokens are how we interact in the metaverse in the future. And it was like, damn it. Everybody thought I was crazy, but I still have all my kitties. I still have all of them in a separate wallet. Yes, I think I gave a few away, but I still have 89. But the point is, I could see that there was something philanthropic there too, because my mind instantly went to, holy shit, this is how we're going to be able to raise money in the future. So I connected them to a buddy of mine. His name's Bill Ty. He's a great philanthropic phenom, and he also has this program called Acti. He got Richard Branson into Ethereum, and is just really big in that space. And he was the first person to teach me about Bitcoin. So I called him up. I was like, Bill, I'm at this hackathon. These CryptoKitty guys are blowing my mind. You have to meet them. So he wrote them their first check for Dapper Labs, which is now an $8 billion company, which is pretty cool.
Decent.
Decent. No big deal. Looks like nothing. So Bill, we were like, okay, this is huge. And they did something called Hanu Kitty, which was like this crypto kitty that was a turtle that they did on Necker Island as a big fundraiser. And that was when we really had this aha moment, like, oh my God, we have to do something bigger. So Bill and I have been talking about this for years and years. And they're actually in the midst of launching something called MetaGood, which you guys will see a whole bunch about, but a bunch of celebrities have backed it. And it's to help get people using NFTs to raise money for charity. So we're a very big part of that. We've chosen 3 charities, one for each of our Yondos. And we each have a reason. Strolls obviously is is medical related, and it's a very big celebrity backed charity. So I won't say it till we sign the paperwork, but they're very good friends of mine. And then the other one, which I'm more comfortable saying because they're getting a check from me regardless, is Hilarity for Charity, which is Seth Rogen's charity that works on Alzheimer's. So the reason why I'm here to help these guys get this project off the ground, but will never be a full-time executive on this, is because my 64-year-old father has Alzheimer's disease. And for the last 2 years, I've been trying to navigate how to take care of that, and have just moved up closer. But am very, very, very committed to using this platform and using any success from this launch to springboard and to really help with further charities. So, in addition to the Hilarity for Charity and Alzheimer's, a medical charity, will also be supporting a water charity, just because the whole planet needs water so bad, and Charity Water does incredible work. And that's something that will continue to be a part of our business in the future. So not just this launch, not just some donated characters, not just, some of the piece of our secondary sale royalties, but built into the fabric of our business is working with our partners at the UN and the UN Partnership Office to help them better understand this technology and to help tell stories like these little Yondos. They live on the planet in the future. You can only imagine the lessons that they've learned from all the mistakes that we've made. So there's a lot of that going on too. So I'm like the like lovey-dovey, huggy wuggy one. But the boys let me give money away too, which is super cool.
That's great. I jumped in late. Sorry, but that's wonderful to hear. I mean, and again, just from us looking at projects, seeing the care that is being put into that, I think just again can help separate from so many other projects and get people really behind something in a big way. And you're also, again, on the stream talking about it, right? It can be one thing that's mentioned in Discord or something like that, which, could be true. I don't know. But this is, you're attaching yourself to it in a big way. And for me, that's tremendously important. So I love that about what I'm hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I want to share. Listen, there was at least one question that I was like, yeah, we should do that. So Chunksta says, how many different types of characters will we be seeing?
In the initial release, certainly there's the 3 characters you see, the blue guy, as we'll call him, the big blue guy. Those are the Wozaks. We'll call him the eggplant guy, which is our internal name for him. Those are the Kubi, and then we have the Yaki. So those are the 3 sort of Yondo species, if you will. They all live in harmony on the planet. They all have a bit of their own backstory and their own proclivities and things like that. Those are the 3 characters. Also in our roadmap, you see there will eventually be, once we are sold out, we are going to drop a free adjunct character that every NFT holder is going to get, a little Yondo buddy to accompany them, because it can get lonely out there in space.
A little pet.
I love it.
Yondo pet.
Yes.
So, and then obviously, being transparent and open-minded about the build out of this universe, of course, we're going to incorporate more characters and more things that we can say. The 10,000 NFTs are always going to be exclusive to these 3 character types, and you're always going to have a unique character as it concerns where the future build out is going to go. If you get a blue guy from this collection, be assured that that's a special thing to have a blue guy.
Yeah.
And we worked incredibly hard we have a ton of assets. Because I think actually if we were lazy and we included things like just background color and simple changes, we technically have tens of millions of combinations that we
tens of millions of combinations from. There were like 13,000 really nice ones that were like ready, but not all of those will go out. And there are super rare traits too. So, there will be like metallic ones, gold, like disco ball looking ones, diamond ones, like they're very cool.
I'll drop a little Easter egg. And one of my things after I woke up in the hospital, I said, I'd really like a healthcare focused thing to be the rarest item, to just kind of, in my own dumb way, say thank you to these incredible people who have gone through hell for the last 2 years.
It's not dumb. It's not dumb. It's beautiful.
So that was and ironically, with the whole medical thing, I almost went to med school. It's just a weird full circle. So as you guys were saying, like the charitable component of all this and being able to incorporate our own passions and our own sort of causes into something like this, it could be it's tough with these NFT projects. I mean, there's so much capital going through these projects in the secondary markets. The last thing you want to do is be seen as someone who's just gratuitously taking advantage of a cash grab or of a nascent market that's exploding, that's maybe unstable. And so on top of trying to build something real, on top of trying to really convince the audience that we're fervently dedicated to making a feature, I just love that piece of it too, because first of all, I love that the better projects out there, in my opinion, have set the precedent of it's almost necessary to do. And I'm not embarrassed. Of course, if you observe the best players in the space, it's got to be a piece of it. But it's really made it personal and gratifying to think that, holy shit, maybe we can actually create something that genuinely has tangible impact, both on the people who are acquiring these things and hopefully getting something out of it beyond just entertainment, collaboration, and fun. And then, this whole other aspect. So I don't even know why I went off on that spiel. No, I apologize.
Good.
But
spiels are good.
Yeah.
If we don't have
the
spiels,
question,
go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, the question I have is that I want the community to know is what's their next step to get one, right?
Oh, yeah.
When is this? Do you want to talk about
when
going
Yondo?
live in the process? Oh, when Yondo, right? I think.
Let me tell you guys, until it feels like it's a disco in that Discord, no Yondo.
Okay, it needs to be popping. So everybody in our chat's got to join over there and start the party going.
And yeah, we want to get a little more fervor behind it, and to be honest, the whole contribute to the lore and help us create the adventure. It's an interesting chicken or the egg problem. It's an interesting marketing problem because you're trying to create a brand new universe that nobody knows about. At the same time, engage and interact and try to find some really passionate people to start to contribute to the story. And it's been an interesting messaging thing. So we got the story. We're creating this experience. The onus is not on the community to entertain themselves, but we really want to hear from you. We really want you to understand that your engagement is going to impact the trajectory, and we are going to listen, and we do think that's one of the unique things about this piece of technology. And so in building an audience and building the Discord, that's been an interesting, and a very fun challenge. It's been amazing to see, folks that we didn't know existed a week ago being hyper contributors. But yeah, we just want to make sure that we have that. I was about to say like minimum viable virality. Forgive my old corporate days. That's some stupid phrase I was about to make up. But we just want to make sure that we have enough traction and enough excitement so that it is so that we're doing justice to the couple thousand super active people we already have.
Right. It's one of those things too where you I can understand the want to have huge numbers, right? Like you want this to be popping, you want it to be excited, but you also want to reward the people that are in there and ready to go, right? The people that are in there right now that are jacked, you still want them to have access. So I totally understand being you can't go now because then there's not enough hype.
You
right?
need the momentum to continue.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need the momentum to continue. You don't want it to launch and then maybe people forget about it. You want this sustained momentum upon launch to keep going, to keep growing.
Right.
And that makes sense.
And I could drop a couple hints. I mean, what we're hoping for is at least for the pre-sale to be able to start kicking off in a week to 2 weeks, I would say.
Near.
Near. Is that fair
A week away. We have so our big charity partners and some of our other big brand partners, we'd like to get those press releases out and kind of into the world. I think we want to do a little bit more explaining about the team and kind of what's up so people understand who we are, because I think we could do an even better job at that. We've just been running it 1,000,000 miles a minute, but I want this to be big for the community, and absolutely the people who are here already, we're never ever going to forget them. We're going to take care of them. But this is also our very first shot at introducing Yondo to the world. So I'm going to be very particular about that.
No, and again, that goes back to everything else that we've talked about, where there's been no rush in the rollout. It's been all pretty well articulated and thoughtful, which we appreciate.
It's taken a lot of self-control. The space is just so crazy, and you see everything, and there's been so much great stuff coming out. You go, what are we doing? But
you have something special, and you want to get it and share it with the world, and you're like, but wait, we have to wait. Almost there, right? Yeah.
Well, and speaking of sharing them with the world, if you pay attention to our Twitter after we wrap up today, there should be a little fun announcement about potentially sharing it with one of you all, right? So we'll be doing a fun little giveaway. So pay attention to our Twitter. You can see too, like all of the information is in our show notes. I've put it into the chat a bunch of times. We'll tweet it out. It's all going to be there. But highly recommend joining the Discord, following them on Twitter, doing all the things, right?
All
Do
the things.
Do all the things.
Get involved.
Get involved. Get
yeah,
involved.
and you'll find me more than them. Like, that's why I'm here. I'm like the big cozy, like, you know, come give me a hug, give me all your kisses. And these guys are like doing their nerdy thing in the background, you know. You might see Jay Jacobs pop in every once in a while, but we mostly keep him working.
Got it. But please engage, interact, and reach out. And I'm sorry, it sucks that Jay had technical issues because he is just shockingly brilliant. He makes me look like a simpleton to the T, and we're so lucky to have him. So I wish
it's almost better, Stroll. It's like we kept our little secret,
secret weapon
locked in a room.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I think all this just leads to some breadcrumbs to post-launch. We just have to have you come back on and talk to us about the experience, and we'll bring Jay back. Yeah. All right.
We would love to, and thank you so much for the time, the platform, the comments. It's super appreciated.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. So again, stay tuned to our Twitter because in about a half hour, look, see, the dog's ready for a giveaway. Stay tuned to Twitter. We'll announce the giveaway fun stuff. You can find all of their information in the show notes. Kelsey and Jason, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you. And to Dustin and your cameos, there are going to be some plushies heading your way once those are ready.
Wow.
So the plushies are
appreciated.
Wow.
It's amazing. I got 3 boys. They
one for each boy. I pay attention.
Thank you so much.
I know you do. Great. I know you do.
Guys, thanks again. Thank you so much.
Talk to you.
We really appreciate it.
Bye.
That was so fun. I was so glad to have them come on today and chat. And look, now Greg, A+ job with the banner right there.
Yeah. See, nailed it.
Mark says went Bandy. Hey, also, you know, now that the segment's over, it's really important that we share this. None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do. Something like that, right? No financial advice.
Smart.
Yeah.
There was a comment before the show started that I wanted to bring up that hold on, let me see if I can I probably can't go back to it
that far back. What's up?
Yeah. It was, did Underdog drop the sponsorship already? They said
no, they didn't.
After one day.
No, come on. It's been 2 days, first of all. And no, of course, Underdog's still in here. We were gonna get to him. I was waiting until we get to the Top Shot streets.
The fans wanted it. The fans wanted it.
Yeah. Hey, listen though, for real, this Underdog situation that's going on. Promo code TeamHold. If you sign up for Underdog, right, and you deposit $10, you get up to $10 free. You're also helping us out by using promo code Hold. But not only that, if you're in the Discord, there's a little channel you can screenshot you using a promo code. And that's going to enter you in to a raffle, which I said it yesterday. Originally, it was a $50 moment. Now it's a $150 moment that's going to be given away. And you get a second entry if you're already, or if you sign up for the YouTube VIP as well. So 2 chances at it. Very exciting.
Well, that was good. That was a great chat. I'm obviously excited about the project. I think it's really cool. And again, having them on directly to talk with the community, if there's any questions, I think they were very upfront, very transparent.
Yeah.
And I really like the direction they're headed. Also, I'm a fan of the art, but I'm really liking the narrative, the storytelling, and everything that they're doing. And also just, they seem to have their head straight, and it feels like everything is very strategic and well thought out. And I can appreciate that.
Absolutely. No, that's where I'm at too. That's where I like whether you like the art of a project or you like the community, whatever. I like, that's totally up to you. I always just appreciate being able to see like what's actually like who these people are and getting to know them a little bit better. I mean, that's what we're into. That's where wherein lies the community. So we like that.
All right, let's get into the Top Shot streets. Boom. Right? I went with Trey. Listen. Today, we were active today. Okay. We were active today. We keep talking, like in all of these shows, I keep saying the same thing. It feels like shit's about to pop off. And I wanted to make some moves. I didn't even make all the moves that I wanted to, but I'd been eyeing some stuff. And then Dapper today
just releases an insane amount of information that all points to rocket ship, right?
Yep. It's Jeb. It was Jeb levels of excitement.
Yes, it really was. It really was. I don't like to go full Jeb all the time. I try to keep my expectations in check, but I was full Jeb today. I was full Jeb because like what? La Liga, you can sign up for La Liga. Did you do that yet?
Already done. I already sent it to another friend as well, who's a huge La Liga fan.
Right? We've got the Friday rare drop. They're worth 8 billion or whatever the hell it is now. There's just so much, many things.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's what we've sort of been thinking about this whole world, right? And you're starting to see it come alive, which is insanely exciting for all of us. This is why we started the show. We believe in this. That's why we're Team Hold, because we believe in everything that they're doing. And all of these projects, I think, are just going to be continued success. I'm super pumped about La Liga. So I think this is going to be an opportunity where I know some of these players, not much, but I'm going to be new to the space, but excited to learn more. And I think this is what Dapper wants. It will increase viewership, excitement about players in the same way that, you got more people watching NBA games because they were excited to see how their moments where their players were. I think there's this sort of cohesiveness that's going to take place. And I sent the website to a buddy of mine, to Bobby, shout out Bobby Bell, who's a designer. And he was like, whoa, this site is super slick. He loved the design. He's like, this is awesome. And I go, yeah, well, it's Dapper. And he's like, yeah, all of their designs are amazing. So it's great. It was huge news. Congrats to the team. Congrats to everyone there at Dapper. Roham, big day, big news, only the tip of the iceberg. And I can't wait to see where everything goes. Yeah.
I mean, so much so that I sold the dad today.
I did not. I mean, that's big news.
Yeah.
I will say I was tempted. I don't know what I would technically buy yet. Right. I think we talked about this. You were looking at a moment that you can easily get now by selling that.
I didn't even get that.
I didn't really sell off too much of what I had. I think we talked about the De'Aaron Fox and Lonzo and Bradley Beal, which got me the Tatum, but I'm okay. I don't think I really want to buy those back. So there's nothing really out there that I'm hunting for to say I can use this unless I just sell one dad and get line my pockets.
People are asking where the La Liga link is. Just go look at Roham's Twitter. Just find
I think it's La Liga. I think it's, I'll tell you right now. I'll throw it in the chat. It's laliga.onflow.org. I'll just throw it into the chat now.
So today I wouldn't say I was panicking. I was just like, I wanted to believe in my conviction. Right. And I was like, I need to make this move now. The
thing is though, that we've been doing that since the beginning, but are you saying that there's one big move that took place that I'm not aware of?
No, it wasn't really a big move. What I did, I moved a bunch of the dad, and I left some in case I want to mint some stuff, but then threw a lot of it into Dapper. So I have stuff ready to go. And then today I bought, wait, okay, sorry. I was making sure I didn't have to block somebody. I bought a Jamal Murray Top Shot debut.
Yep. Which you had sold previously.
Which I'd sold previously, yeah. And I think I sold it for like 3 something and I scooped it for 190, sold it for 3 something, and then bought it again for 4 something. I bought the Bowl Series 1 because I just wanted the full Nuggets set again. I was like, I think that's going to matter at some point. I like having the whole thing.
Your team Nuggets. That's fair.
Team Nuggets. And I'm not going to get I'm not going to complete another set. I don't think another team set. So I'm like, let's just do it. Get it over with. And then I bought you know what I bought? I bought a Top Shot debut Series 1. Turn your headphones down. I finally got that Lou Dort Top Shot debut, and then I bought 2 more moments, and I did it out of fear.
Wait, you didn't have a Lou Dort TSD?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I hadn't had one yet, and I was excited about it. And I was just looking at that range. I was like, I want to find something in the.
I love it. I bought it a while ago, and I believe in him, and obviously we love Lou Dort. And forgive me for eating. I'm going to munch through a little bit of lunch here. There.
Do it. I'm gonna share. Yeah, he said that almost blew my gosh darn earbuds. Yeah, I know. So, but Kevin, I wanted to share your comment mainly because I loaned Kevin 2 W moments to complete the challenge, which I was happy to do. And then once I did that, they announced the rare drop was on Friday, and I panicked that like, if I own the whole set, am I going to be put in some upper tier to get a rare pack? And this is a pack I want. So I went and bought the 2 moments that I loaned him for like 30 bucks each, just in case. Like, it's probably an L.
I have a few. I have a few W moments. I could have.
But I was just like, whatever, $60 total, or a little less than that. And I was like, let's just get him, and that way,
put fear aside. Put fear aside.
Exactly.
Sleep easy at night.
And worst case scenario, as Real Rad Dad says in the Discord, always buy 2. So now I can go full Flip City if I need to.
Wish I had adopted that strategy many moons ago. Although, my wife would probably have yelled at me had I done that. So I think I've gotten at least to a comfortable level what I've done. But I think that's smart. I think based on what we've seen in the past, they do like to reward collectors.
Yeah.
So I think that was a smart gamble. And like you said, worst case scenario, you can figure it out after the fact.
Yeah. And I think one of them is like sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm curious if maybe they'll do, if you've collected a team set or if you've collected all the W moments, which I think would be really awesome. You are guaranteed a pack if you'd like it.
It would be cool.
Or if you have, instead of collector score, to say, if you own a certain threshold of W moments or have completed one of the challenges, you are placed in a second tier. And then for people, because what I'm trying to say is ultimately, I think you could be rewarding people who actually care about the W moments and not just people that are going to be instant flippers. Like there may be opportunity to do that, which I think would be nice.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And Kevin says, be right back, suffocating under Midwestern guilt. No, I like, listen, I have no regrets. I was happy to do that for you. It was nice to see someone to be able to complete the challenge without having to drop extra cash. So don't feel bad. This was Crypto Dad money. It doesn't even feel like my money. So.
Yeah, he's a whale. What are you talking about, Kevin? He's got the Underdog sponsorship.
Yeah.
He's living with a whale life. Come on.
All right, we've made $0 so far. So
I will tell you one thing that I purchased last night. I mean, I mentioned what I purchased off air, and I get that everyone's saying this. I should actually address a little bit of that. But I did buy one thing off last night.
Ooh.
Taylor Horton Tucker TSD.
No, wait, that's
number 15.
Oh, you did. Yeah, but you gotta. I feel like, do you have to address why you got blocked yesterday during the stream?
No, I didn't get blocked. I didn't get blocked by anyone that mattered, is what I'll say.
Oh yeah, you got blocked, bro.
No, I didn't get blocked by anyone that mattered.
You get blocked by YouTube.
I'm trying to get. If you guys saw the overtime person, they're pumping THT, and it's pretty great. But someone also then retweeted about it. Whatever. Check my Twitter history. You can see it. It's a fun game. But I bought one anyways because I feel like I needed another. Shout out New Swami Team THT. The other thing though is I did mention that I purchased the Dwight Howard, which I feel is a controversial purchase, at least on this stream. I'm trying to look at it right now in my collection, and I'll give you reasons why. And I will also say, Real Rad Dad just one too. So if that gives you any, like, okay, all right, yeah, it does a little bit.
Real Rad Dad would buy dog.
Stop it! Stop it! So, look, this is my argument. You could take it or leave it, and I know most people are going to leave it. I don't think it's wow, I'm getting this at $210. This is going to be $1,000 by the time the Lakers hang another banner. I think it's going to be like, oh wow, it's only $210 for his TSD and it has a championship badge. This should have some room to grow. Whether or not I flip it, why not? So like, I'll give you the worst case scenario. This should at least climb to what the Wiseman price is, which I think is like $270.
I think so.
And I can then instantly flip it and get the Wiseman if I feel like it. Also, James Wiseman has not, I said this in the Discord, so join the Discord if you're not there. He's not eligible to do full contact practice until October 15th.
Yeah.
Which means he's not starting the season, and they're going to ease him in, and he may not play until a month after. So
yeah, that sucks.
That's my sort of thought process of potential price dipping, right?
I just have to
maybe not.
I
Sure.
I think
Go
there's
for it.
there's a lot of logic behind what you're saying.
That's what I was going. And I understand if you're not a Dwight guy, all that stuff. Like all of those are fair points. And there's certainly Laker goggles I'm wearing. But I just think there's still a little bit of room on there compared to some of these other ones.
I just loved this back and forth here. John Michael Weisberg says Dwight is a Hall of Famer, and then Kevin says Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer. Back to back. And then, yes, you get it, Mike. Now we're just listing Hall of Famers.
I love it.
Oh, man. I know. I think it was a good move. It's just fun to dunk on it. I think it was a good move.
Well, look, and I'll bring this up too, Mark. So this was part of the argument. Wiseman's ceiling, I do think it's lower than Dwight's, but it may not matter for the new future collectors because Wiseman is going to be, and this was your point, in the conversation going forward versus Dwight. Yeah. Now, will that matter? I don't know. Like we talked about, would you rather own a Dwight or I think it was the LaMelo, it might have been. And not the Dwight, I'm sorry, the Vince or the LaMelo. And it was like, well, probably the LaMelo, even though it's a worse moment, it's whatever, because more people are going to be excited about LaMelo going forward rather than Vince. There's stuff. I think there's a bit of a conversation there, but I just thought like, why not at that price? Why not?
No, also, I'm with you.
Yao Ming is a Hall of Famer. Yeah, shout out Yao Ming.
Yo, I love Yao Ming though.
Yeah, who doesn't love Yao Ming?
That Rockets team was great. I love that Rockets team.
Yeah,
but I like the overall sentiment right now is high. Like I'm ready. I'm honestly ready to flip my next ad to go buy some more shit. I just think like I'm comparing this to basically all of the projects. Like who has a higher ceiling than Top Shot right now?
La Liga. No, I don't know. No one.
Right, but like
no one.
You know?
Yeah. I'm with you. And I guess this isn't a counter. I shared with the chat. I bought some more stuff yesterday, so I definitely bought that Dwight. But I also bought Ja Morant's 15K. I bought Ja Morant's 40K. I bought Darius Garland 40K just because it's a really nice play. Zion's 35K. Ja Morant's 7,500. Zion's Seeing Stars, which is at a 10K. So I bought a few more of the younger. I already had all those kind of versions of Luka.
Yeah.
So I said, who else do I need to get? And that what I would want. And I bought all of those thinking in Series 3. No, I didn't buy 2 because I'm not real rad dad. But if I have to part with some of those, it's not the end of the world. I'm okay with it. But that was part of my ceiling. And I agree with you that like part of my thinking that this is still no one's trajectory, I think, is as big as what we're going to potentially see with Top Shot here.
Exactly.
Right?
That's where I'm at. And I know Jonathan's like stay diversified. That's the argument against it is to be like, yeah, but just, have more than one pool, like fire at a couple of different things, which I totally get. But then there's part of me that's like, or just double down, hard.
I mean, you're not wrong. You still have one dad and you can figure that out if you need to, but you can also say, I believed in the project. I did what I can, and now I'm going to use it for another project that I believe in, which is not the end of the world.
Yeah, and I still got my PERS, baby. Still got my PERS.
Yeah, there's all of that is diversifying.
Doovie's on one today. His comments have been fire the whole time. I didn't share a bunch because we were in the middle of the interview, but he had a lot of funny ones. And he just said, if Melo goes to the Lakers, do we start calling him LaMelo Yellow? And how has he not got that endorsement already? This is solid. Dude.
The only thing I would say with that comment is if you had changed if to when, this would be a beautiful comment.
Oh, I wish I could put you in timeout again right now.
Well, you can because I actually have to
go. No, I think let's wrap right here anyways.
Okay.
We are an hour, and I got to go see my boy JJ. I'm gonna go shoot some threes with JJ. And Soul Bro made the right comment. LaMelo isn't old enough to be on the Lakers, so in 2048,
if you do meet him, can you, and you're standing next to your friends, can you just run off of them like a screen before you shake his hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the question I think I'm going to ask him. If there's an opportunity to ask a question, we'll end with this. I think like knowing that his first moment is a layup and that if he's going to get another moment, it's going to be run it back. What is like the one moment in his career that he'd want on there? That's the right question, right?
It's a great question. I think it's a great question for the community. I don't think I know the answer, but it's going to be some 3-pointer. I'd love the community to chime in.
I want JJ to answer that tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Right.
And Eric says there's a show tonight. There is, but it's not going to be us. It's going to be on our channel, though. Deep Threat and actually Jeb Bush are going to be on here, I believe, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You'll see some information on in the Discord. They're going to fill in for us because Greg has to mentally prepare himself for this weekend. I need to see JJ Redick. And Dustin's just going to be a dad tonight.
I got to do dad stuff. I'm actually building a basketball hoop for our backyard. So that's what I'm doing. We bought a brand new like Spalding back court, so I'm setting it up. You're gonna have to keep us posted. Yeah, I'll send some photos. Yeah. Like trying to get a Top Shot booth at his wedding. Thank you, Top Shot Tesla. Thank you, Top Shot Tesla. All right, we gotta get out of here. Yeah, shout out Yondo Mondo again. That was a lot of fun. Pay attention to our Twitter for the giveaway, and let's sniff our way out of here. Ready? 3, 2, 1.